weekend last year in New England and then took care of the Ravens after that when that man was the MVP. Take it away, Michael.
All right. Five-time MVP and six-time NBA champion, the GOAT. Michael Jordan said, talent wins games, but teamwork and intelligence wins championships. Everybody has recognized, idolized, and verbalized the great talent of the Baltimore Ravens MVP quarterback Lamar Jackson. And his 30-7 record in the regular season confirms that. But Lamar and the Ravens know, in order to win championships, starting today, they must play with great heart and very smart together. Lamar, let's look at you guys' last 10 games. First 5, you lose 4 of 5. The last 5, you win them all. What changed?
I just said our mindset. It was win to go home for us, and it was a lot of adversity towards us from the off season with how they gonna be able to respond from last year with the playoffs loss. We need to get back to how it was. And our team just dialed in and focused, and we just been finishing games.
Touchdown Ravens!
And what would you say personally was your toughest challenge?
I won't say I was tired, but it was just a lot.
Lamar Jackson, the star quarterback, MVP, did in fact test positive for COVID-19.
When I had caught the COVID and stuff like that, I was watching the game at home and I was like, you gotta do something, like you gotta make something happen. And when I got back, I told my guys, I'm like, man, it's time to go. We gotta tighten up. We gotta start now. Any loss, we going home.
What a magician he is with his legs.
There's none like him in the world.
The only quarterback in history with multiple 1,000-yard rushing seasons, man.
Lamar Jackson needed 3. He got 44.
What does that mean to you?
It's really a team, all-around team effort for me. You know, my offensive linemen doing what they're supposed to do. My receivers blocking downfield. Running backs doing the same thing, tight ends. Well, I know I make guys miss here and there, but those all-around team effort.
That's awfully humble of you. I make guys miss here and there. You're spinning move, guys falling down, man. Their kids are watching this. And you talking about, you know.
You gotta play street ball sometimes. Yep.
You say it's a team effort, and it is, man. You guys been averaging 37 points and over 400 yards down the stretch.
Dobbins weaving his way through it. Now Dobbins a foot race, showing the wheels.
J.K. Dobbins, man, this last 6 weeks, man, what do you see that has helped him turn it on so well?
He loose now. You know, he's been playing 16 weeks. You know, he a rookie. He played his first half of the season. Then, you know, I felt he got used to it.
Lamar, I said if he ever gets that guy, a big guy outside, that can go up and get some passes in the end zone, those 50-50 balls, I said Lamar could be unstoppable. You got my guy there, number 88. Talk to me about what it means and what it's been like having Dez Bryant around.
It means a lot to me, you know, just because, you know, Dallas was my favorite team growing up, you know, all my life. That was my dad's favorite team. And then for him to be on my team and knowing what his capability is, that's the guy we need in our locker room. And he humble, you know, I don't know if people on the outside know about that, but he humbled me, a big brother to us, and he's been dialed in ever since he got in. Can't wait to let him go free.
Dez Bryant, 2 weeks in a row, flash the X again.
Week 11, you're playing Tennessee. Things don't go right.
And the Tennessee Titans take down the Ravens for a second time in the 2020 calendar year.
And the Ravens just appear to be a little bit out of sync right now. It's a Titan title wave. They have beaten the Ravens at their own game.
Tennessee has been in the way. How are you approaching things differently this time around?
We don't overthink anything. Don't go out there trying to do too much. We was winning the game when we played in week 11, then we just lost at the last minute. That's why I said we just got to finish.
You're yet to get a win in the playoffs. How will you handle that added pressure to get that first win?
Focus. You got to stay dialed in, you know, until the clock says 0, 0, 0, 0. If you make a mistake, you know, when you get back out there, just take your time and get in the red zone, finish. You need to score every opportunity we get, take advantage.
And the offense has certainly improved with the emergence of this rookie from the Ohio State. That's J.K. Dobbins, hoping to match best he can Derrick Henry yard for yard in this big game. Cartoon Mooch, take us to break.
Coming up next, Kurt Warner has a lot of NFL records, but they're getting broken every week. Find out which one of Kurt's records gets smashed this week when NFL Game Day morning returns.
Let's go! The playoffs are here. and we're all here for it.
The game has changed.
This is where it's all on the line.
This is going to live forever.
And anything can happen.
An insane game.
14 teams after it. One network here for it.
A big entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised. Certainly when Mooch is smashing things of Kurt's. Is that what you're about to do, Steve?
Well, you're going to have to tune in and see, all right? So guess who has the record for the most total yards in a playoff game against the Titans? No music. Lamar Jackson. Last year, remember, 508 total yards.
Right.
5 plus 0 plus 8 equals 13, Kurt. All right? So guess who has the record, however, for the most passing yards in a playoff game versus the Titans? Music! Yeah, he knew it. He was talking to Brenda about it this morning. 414 passing yards in Super Bowl 34. Way to go, Kurt. You made Dick Vermeil cry. All right? Yeah. So today, don't get cocky, because today I boldly predict that Lamar Jackson will throw for 415 yards and smash that record, Kurt Warner, of most passing yards against the Titans in the playoffs.
That's bold.
Bold.
That is bold, and I would love to see that for that young man. You know, Mooch, you talked yesterday about the older quarterbacks that are in these playoffs. Well, we've actually only got 2 guys that are 40 years old or older. We saw Tom Brady play last night, played some great football. There's another quarterback that played into his 40s, Mooch, that you know fairly well, and Brett Favre holds the playoff record for 40-year-old quarterbacks in terms of touchdown passes. He threw 4 against Michael's Cowboys way back in 2009. I say today, the other 40-year-old quarterback in Drew Brees will throw 5 touchdown passes today as they go dueling back and forth between the 40-year-old quarterbacks. He will have the record after today.
That's cool. And that's cool. I'm going to go 2 people, too, here. I go Alvin Kamara and Michael Thomas returning today. Both of these guys returning today. We talked about this today. Will have more scrimmage yards than the entire Bears offense. Those 2 returning to get that offense back in groove for this run.
And the entire Bears offense.
The entire Bears offense. Those 2 alone.
Look at these bold predictions. They were also very simple. Yesterday, I needed, it looked like a conspiracy theory board, the way that you and Kurt were explaining your playoff long bold predictions, like string on a grease board and all that sort of stuff.
Rich, if you get confused, I know.
Look out.
Everybody's confused.
This was very,
my God.
That was embarrassing, all right?
No, it's not. Third Eye Raven signed the petition for it to be the new Ravens mascot. If there's one thing you could say about Lamar Jackson, it's that he lets things wash through, not wash over. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't. It doesn't seem to me to. Well, I know that's an unfortunate turn of a phrase now that I'm hearing Kurt laugh from his home camp.
It's a Freudian slip.
No. But basically what I'm saying is he doesn't strike me as somebody who's going to just, grip up during this game because he hasn't won a playoff game yet. And you've spoken to him. Yeah. I'm wondering what you think.
Well, and he talks about that. And, he talks about that. He talks about, honestly, all the things that he had to deal with. And dealing with everything, even winning the MVP and all of that brings, he says, I won't say I was tired, but it was a lot. And even his time away in COVID helped him kind of refocus that, you know what I mean? Because we think about, there's so much that goes on, and especially for him. And I felt, even in talking to him, that he felt like he was trying to satisfy a lot of people. Sometimes I'm sitting in the pocket too long. My feet are telling me, let's go, but I'm waiting on things to develop. He says, I'm going to listen to my feet a little bit more now and take off. I was like, yeah, that's what you should be doing. That's what you should be doing, Don't listen to the people that tell you sit in the pocket because they wish they could run like you because they'd have ran out of that pocket too. I'm just telling you. But he seems like he's in a good place and getting ready for it now.
The one thing I will say, Irv, though, is that we know in this day and age, you can't get away from the narrative. And I even heard Lamar talk a little bit about that narrative, getting over this playoff hump and the issues that they've had and that he's had come playoff time. And so I know that it's in there. And I love what you were saying, Irv, because sometimes to me the way to get it out of there is not to do what everybody's telling you to do, but just to fall back on what you do well. Fall back on just reacting and playing football. That is when Lamar Jackson is at his best. So I hope they don't come out and panic and put the ball in his hands and want to prove anything to anybody in terms of throwing it. Put it in his hands for him to run, to be a playmaker, to play free, because when he plays free, now he can let all that other stuff go and just react in the passing game. But I'm going to ask you this, Coach. You know, we all remember that when Steve Young won that Super Bowl, that, you know, we remember seeing him on the sideline and somebody was coming over and pulling that monkey off his proverbial back, that he heard it, that he understands that it was there and it was something that weighed him down. Did you ever see that when you were around him?
Well, I saw that too, and I got a new quote from Irv though, Kurt. We got listen to my feet. I've never heard that one before. That's a good coaching point. You know what?
Well,
yeah, and Steve Young got the monkey off his back, right? But this is not quite to that degree because Lamar lost 2 games. You know what? Sure. So what? Peyton Manning lost his first 3 games in the playoffs. You don't blink. You just play. I think that's going to serve as motivation for this guy. He's going to say, I'll show you that I can not only win a playoff game, I can go deeper than that. He's playing like he did as an MVP. These last 5 games, he's been spectacular. So I think he's determined to show that he's been the MVP and that he's playing this year as the MVP.
Yeah, and I think part of that monkey on his back was named Montana.
Oh yeah, when they got rid of Joe, and all of a sudden Steve had to win Super Bowls or else.
And then Michael Irvin.
I don't think he's listening. He's not listening to Flacco feet.
And then Michael Irvin in the triplets. That was the monkey on his back too. He had to get past that.
Oh yeah.
And you know, he had to get past us.
Michael Irvin in the triplets. I'm sorry.
That monkey was on his back. That's what was on his back, and I was up there tight.
AWS. Cynthia?
Well, I can't imagine following that because it's so amazing. But one of the other ways that Derrick Henry is amazing, well, pretty much anywhere that he's rushing. Usually the next 10 stats give us clues as to how to kind of stop him, but he's great outside the tackles, inside the tackles. I want to point out there's 1,230 yards. Only Dalvin Cook has more total rushing yards. So, Coach, how would you plan on stopping if you were the Ravens?
You know, this is ridiculous because outside the tackles, usually that's reserved for the fast guys, right? Speed guys. And he's a downhill runner? No. This big dude at 250 is also fast. But you remember he had 195 yards against the Ravens and knocked them out of the playoffs last year. So what did they do? They went out and got a couple more players, right? Calais Campbell, Pro Bowler, and Yannick Ngakoue, a couple of stout guys in there, so they're much better on defense. And they did that so they can stop that guy, and we'll see if that works today.
All right, great. Rich?
Thanks very much. You too.